The first two terminology that we have to know, that is class and object. From the beginning, one point that I had given the clarity. So Java program is object oriented if everything is nothing but a class. Without a class, we cannot do anything. A Java program is consisting one class or more than one class. So from the beginning to this point already we have done many programs that already we all have acquainted with class, but here in class chapter that we will know in detail what exactly a class is and what is an object, that we will know, and what is the role of an object in Java object oriented programming. So first we will know what is a class. In general, so a class is grouping of objects. A class is grouping of objects having identical properties, identical properties, common behavior, common behavior, and shared some relationships to perform a specified task. So this is in general definition. This is in general definition. For example, a computer system, comma, a vehicle, etc. Suppose consider a computer system consisting various components like monitor, keyboard, CPU, mouse, UPS. So these are one components, and here every component we can consider as one object. And we have written each component having its own identical properties. Monitor having its own identical property, through the monitor we can see the output. Keyboard having its own identical properties, through the keyboard we can say we can input the value. So every component having its own identical properties and sharing some relationship. Suppose when a keyboard I am connecting with the CPU, then keyboard is active, keyboard is functioning, means a relationship is establishing. So to perform a specified task, whatever the task is given by the user, so immediately the system will resolve. So we can say a computer system is a class, monitor is an object, a computer system is a class, keyboard is an object, a computer system is a class, mouse is an object. So in this way that we can represent. But strictly speaking, this is in general definition. But according to the programming point of view, if the interviewer will ask what exactly a class is, so simple answer, a class is a non-primitive data type. You recall from the beginning at the time of data type session that already I have given the clarity. So Java data types categorized into two types. One is primitive and one is non-primitive. In primitive, some basic data types that already we had discussed. So non-primitive, that is what class is, one non-primitive data type. So if you'll write according to the programming point of view, or in this context, so class is a non-primitive, or we can say user defined, okay, data type, because the class name is completely user defined. We are giving the name of the class. We can say class is a user defined data type, or we can say class is a non-primitive data type. Okay. So according to the programming point of view, what I wrote, a class is a non-primitive data type, or a class is a user defined data type which fully defines an object, which fully defines an object. So fully defines an object, that means without a class we can't declare an object. Then immediately, so we will know what is an object. An object, so regarding object, that already we have known in string chapters, that already this part we have covered. Again, I will repeat. An object is a named dynamic memory. Okay, named memory area. That means the memory having a name. So an object is a dynamic memory, and that dynamic memory have a name. So that's why I wrote an object is a named dynamic memory which contains class property, which contains class property. So what do you mean by class property? What do you mean by class property? So whatever a class is containing, that is class property. Basically, a class contains a data or method, or data and method. So that is considering as the class property. So basically, a class contains data or method, or data and method. Okay, which is, so which are considering as class property. Okay, so a class fully defines an object. That means without a class, we can't declare an object. Object is what? An object is a dynamic memory area. So what the object is containing? An object is containing class property. So what do you mean by class property? So whatever anything present inside a class, that is called as class property. So basically, a class is containing data or method, or data and method, practically, that we will see. Then once we create a class, or we define a class, then declare we can declare any number of objects belonging to that class. This point also you remember. So once we define a class, we can declare any number of objects belonging to that class. Suppose my class name is, suppose first example, then ob1, ob2, ob3, ob4, obn. So it is possible that we can declare n number of objects by what? One class. So that's why I wrote this line. Once we define a class, we can declare any number of objects belonging to that class. So already we know that. So how to represent a class name. Okay. Suppose let class name is demo, then curly bracket begin. Okay. So I can write in this way. So suppose I have two data member, int x comma y. So data member and two methods. Let void get method, and I can write void show method. In this way, that I can represent a class. So this is my class name. So okay, so class is a keyword. So this keyword class represents or instructs to the Java compiler that demo is my class name containing two data members x and y. Basically we say data members, okay, two variables. Okay, so then get method and show method, so it is also our user defined methods. So the number of task, number of methods, one method definition is representing a task. So get method definition, definitely till now here I have not defined, just I am taking. So we can say demo is a class containing two int data members and containing two methods. One is get method and one is show method. Now practically, so I will take an example and I will give the clarity. Okay, so directly I will go to my Eclipse environment and I will go to what to create a new .java file. Okay, so right click on the package, so new class. Okay, so package name is my com.java express, class name that depend upon you. So whatever you can write, suppose my task is, suppose one problem statement that we will consider. Suppose let it I will find the area of a triangle, okay, using class and object concept. Let my class name is area triangle. Okay, let my class name is area triangle, and I will put a tick mark here, public static void main. So main method that will what it will represent. So click on finish button and you see, so a new .java file created and the program name is area triangle.java. Now I will start. So in which way that I will do? So you will do same format till end of this subject that you will follow. So here, so program that we will develop using class and object concept. So now the my whole program that I will consider two steps. Step number one, I will create a class. I will define a class. Let class name is area, suppose area, a uppercase. Okay. Now I took a class. Then first line is what? Number of variable declaration. That means I will represent data members. Then how many number of variables that I will take? So in which way that we will know? So one point guys, you remember. So whatever you have the problem statement, my problem statement is finding the area of a triangle. So you will find how many number of input area of a triangle, that is 0.5 into base into height. So base and height two input. So for that two input variables that I will take, and particularly in this line number of input variable that I will specify. Let double, my data type is double, means float value, double base comma height. Okay, so in this way I took two data members and I analyzed the problem statement. I did analysis and I found what are the number of inputs. So number of input is 2 that I found, that is base and height. So that's why I took two data members. Then I will go to the next point. The number of tasks, currently I was telling, number of tasks is the number of method definition. First of all, I will give the base value, height value, means I will input properly the value of base and height. We can give base and height value through the keyboard at the runtime. So in which way that we had done, java.util.scanner package that we will import, then we will create a scanner object. So next double method I will call. So in that way that we can do. Otherwise, so directly base and height value that we can put, so that it depend upon you. So for that, suppose one method, suppose I will define let void get method. Okay, so this is one method definition. If I will write base equals to 3.4, height equals to 5.6. So here value I fixed, value I assign. But it is possible that you can take also system what scanner s equals to new scanner. Okay, in this way base equals to s dot next double, height equals to s dot next double, enter the base value and height value. So at the runtime it is possible that you can put the base value and height value. So this is one a task, and I thought, and for that I defined a function, I defined a method. Next, so I will write my business logic area equals to 0.5 into base into height. I will write an output statement because we know that without output statement, output value never coming to the picture. So it is mandatory that somewhere we have to write the output statement. So by taking all these facts, then I thought I will define another method. Let my method name is area. So this area, it is a method small a, but area class uppercase a. So this is difference. Don't confuse. So in this method, so I will write my business logic. So in this method, if I will write my business logic, so I will take output variable first. Double a, suppose a equals to 0.5 into base into height. Then one output statement I will write system dot out dot println. So I can write, so area of triangle is, so the value of a. So in this way that we can write, otherwise I will give a space, it will be quite some within double quote whatever I will write area of the triangle is, there is a space, then a value. So a is my output variable. So now control S. So this is step number one. Step number one, what I did, I defined a class. So let the class name is area, containing two data members, base and height, and containing two methods. One is get method and one is area method. One is get method and one is area method. Get method definition representing base value and height value. Area method definition representing our business logic. And also we have written the output statement. Now step number one complete. Step number two, I will go to main method, because we know that without a main method, a Java program is incomplete. So if I will represent main method, so what I did, I presented main method by taking another class. So this, and program name is area triangle.java, because main method present in which class, that class name dot java is my program name. Suppose you have 100 number of classes, so what will be your program name? So you will see, you will check. So in which class main method is present, that you have to check. So that corresponding class name dot java is always Java program name. So in main method, step number two is very simple. So first point is object declaration. First point is object declaration. So which class object I will take, which class is containing all these things. This is the class property, area class property. Currently I was telling whatever anything is present inside a class, so that is considering as class property. So definitely when I will take an object of area class, so that object will contain this property. Okay, so I will take a class name, object name equals to new class name. Okay, so now I can say obj. is which type of object? Area type of object. Already we have written. So an object is containing class property internally. A memory will allocate and name of the memory is obj. So what the obj is containing? Obj is containing the area class property. Now after object declaration, very simple. Object name dot method name. Dot method name, my method name is get method, and object name, my method name is area method. So now what is this? This point is important. Basically, this line is called as message passing. Message passing is one of the feature of object oriented programming. Basically, this is called as message passing. Okay, so what do you mean by message passing? Here, method is calling. You remember one point in method context, when a method definition is executing. Here I defined a method. That does not mean that so this method definition executed. So when a method definition executing, there's a most important point in this context. When the method will invoke by the object, will call by the object, get method I have defined in area class. So when get method will call by the area class object, then get method definition will execute. This is the main mantra of object oriented programming. When a method definition is executing, when a method is invoking by the object. Here get method, area method, we have two method definition and two method definition that we have defined inside area class. So when this two method will call by the area class object, then this two method definition will execute. So when this line will execute, then control will come to area class and control will execute this get method definition. Base value is 3.4, height value is 5.6. Then after execution, then again control will come to this line. So object name dot method name, then this method definition will execute. So line by line it is executing. This line executed, this line executed, this line executed. So last line is the output statement. Based on this output statement that we will get the output. Now you see control S. Now I will hit run and you will see, you see area of the triangle is 9.52. So based on this output statement, we got this output message, area of triangle is 9.52. So this is an object oriented program. We can say it is a full fledged object oriented program. The concept of class is present. We have considered an object. Okay, so data and method, data base and height are two data members. Get method and area method are two method. Data and method wrapped inside a class, present inside a class, that is called as data encapsulation. Data and methods are encapsulated inside a class. So hence we can say, so this is the concept of encapsulation. Then message passing, class, object, message passing, data encapsulation, so many features of object oriented programming that we have presented. Hence we can say it is an object oriented program. So the my first example. So I hope everybody have got clarity.